Hi, hello. I got Thanos snapped, but now I'm back because the Avengers did a thing. That is not a spoiler. That is not a spoiler. If you haven't seen the video right now, if you haven't seen the video right now, I'm not gonna call you out, but chances are you had it spoiled for you by memes. Like that's just a reality.
You got spoiled for you by playing Fortnite.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. We're all good to go. This.
Sweet.
Do you want to be the one that does the rundown on the movie?
I
Like,
mean, sure.
okay, cool. I'll just start it and then all right then.
Non-spoiler, right? Non-spoiler rundown.
First we go non-spoiler, which probably lasts like 10 minutes, because
Yeah.
let's face it, we're not like connoisseurs of cinema.
No, 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 we are not.
Hoity-toity. Uh,
That would be a great idea for a skit. Like, take that like Renaissance era kind of thing and like jokingly create. No, never mind. And that makes like you like too much like CinemaSins. And fuck that YouTube channel. Hate that channel so fucking much.
So yeah, we'll start with non-spoiler stuff, and then we'll
Okay.
dig into the spoilers.
No problem, Captain.
Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to Charged Reviews. Here with me today is not Justin, but Ben.
Hi, everybody.
You're supposed to do a funny introduction.
Was I? I didn't, dude. I, I thought about it, but then like everything I thought about was way too spoilery, so I didn't do it.
Okay. Well, you just covered for Justin anyways, because all he does is say hi everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, Avengers, not Infinity War, Endgame.
Endgame.
I kind of want to start off by just giving our own review score for it. Because it's gonna be like no shocker, but for me, I think it's like the best movie I've ever seen, at least for now. Uh, it's great. It's amazing. Go watch it right now if you haven't seen it yet. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'll agree to that. Like it reminded me of like why the fuck I want to go. I go to the movies when I do. That spectacle, like it's to me. I know some people like are not or like they like Infinity War better. To me, Infinity War is the best Marvel movie ever made. It's possibly the best comic movie ever made to me. Just because of how much it does and how satisfying it is. When like it's if I laughed, I cried, I cheered, I fucking like was ready to lead a stadium-esque chant when a certain thing happens in the movie.
This
And if you've
is
seen it, you know,
awesome.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Can you imagine like watching if like well, how cool would that be, right? Endgame, but with like the crowd size of WrestleMania. I mean, you wouldn't be able to watch the movie because then you can't
Like
hear anything.
10,000 people looking at a Titantron.
Yeah, that'd be so sick. Like, just do it once in your life. Then I would probably hate everybody because like I can't hear the movie. Um, but yeah, it's great. Go see it. Seriously, even if you haven't been watching for the past 10 years, go fucking watch it.
Did you feel those 3 hours at all?
No,
Yeah, it felt
no, not at all.
both. So I've seen it twice now. I've seen it once in D box and once in IMAX 3D, and both times I sat through without having to go to the bathroom, and I was just engrossed the whole time.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Everyone here kind of has like the main cast, anyways, has like their moments to them, which is great.
pretty much. Yeah.
Let me go look at my notes real quick because I made a whole bunch of notes. Things that I really liked. Thor.
Thor, great.
Thor was great. I identified with that character probably the
I
most out
think
of
I
all of
think
them.
I think Thor is the symbol of our generation. I like that. This Thor is is like us incarnate.
Like he has a really good arc to him about like being himself and not being what others want to be, and like where that takes him to the end of the movie and possibly in future movies in the Marvel universe is pretty great. Um, God, there's so much here that I want to like just like go right into spoilers, but
Yeah.
the acting was good. The only things that I have like Brie Larson, I'm still not on like I'm not huge into Brie. She's all right, but she doesn't add a whole lot to it in my own opinion.
I think that's fair. I think that's
Um,
fair.
but she's only been around for like a movie or two.
Yeah, she doesn't have. All that being said, like, the scene she does have near the end of the movie, like that was one of the ones where I wanted to fucking lead a chant. I'm like, so I was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, she definitely has her sick action moments.
Yeah, but I think when we get a Captain Marvel 2, we shall be, because I think from what I remember, they shot this before they actually shot her movie, so like that sort of oddness might be because she wasn't sure who the character was yet, and that in Captain Marvel, it's a more solidified, even though it's chronologically.
Yeah,
I,
it's also just hard to do that kind of role because you're like the most OP character in the world.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you're kind of like the Superman, and the actors that play Superman, people are sometimes give him shit for being too like
okay,
stoic or whatever. Um, it's so hard to go through this. I love the beginning of the movie, the way it opens up
oh
and
yeah,
reminds you of what happened in the previous one.
oh
And
yeah,
our
it really,
entire theater was just like gasping. The both times I went, the entire theater just gasped, and we're like, "Oh my god!" Like it's such a shocking opener.
mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, same thing, yeah.
Yeah,
And it completely sets your like, okay, we're in for like I haven't been that like, oh shit, where do we go now from? And then that title card comes up. I'm like, and I literally I think I broke my rule of not talking to the movie. I went, are you serious? And I had to like quiet myself down. I'm like, what the?
Oh, this is a movie to go see with a crowd, in my opinion,
Yeah,
because there are key moments in this movie where people are going to be cheering, laughing, crying, and experiencing that with like a few hundred people. I don't know how many people are in the
yeah.
movie theater, but
I
anyways,
always thought maybe like 15, 20, and even then, it was still noticeable.
yeah, it's great having that crowd reaction. Like you
Oh
said,
yeah,
if we saw this with a wrestling crowd, this would be super. Like this would be a dream for me.
yeah.
uh, um. Is there anything that you want to talk about? No, non-spoilery stuff.
Um, I I loved this. I don't think this is a spoiler, but I loved how intimate we got with the characters. I think this is the most intimate we've gotten with at least these characters in a group dynamic ever. Where like you saw them picking on each other, making fun of each other, consoling them, and you
Yeah,
just got
because it starts off like a good part of the movie is just them being themselves and they're like
yeah,
being people.
yeah, and it's like and it's fitting considering this is the last time, a lot of them will be together, whether it's contracts or things that happen in the movie.
Hmm.
I mean, we already knew about certain characters, but like how it happened is a spoiler. But like it was just nice. Like that's to me what's cool. That was cool about Avengers. It wasn't just like the big fight scenes that happened, but just like the little moments when they were out of costume or like quasi in costume and they were just talking to each other,
Hmm.
just like hanging out, like that. Like there's a scene that happens with certain characters in a diner that was just hysterical. Um, and it just gets better and better. Like it builds off these 10 years of movies, these 22 movies, and it pays it off with all these little character moments. Like I could have like they could have never fought Thanos, and I could have just had them just chilling, dealing with the fact that their world just ended before them.
Yeah. Do you think it's a spoiler to say what the plot synopsis is?
I mean, the yes, well, I mean, yeah, because they don't really.
Really?
Yeah, I think so because of what of well, I mean, kind of because like you knew they were gonna get everybody back, like that, I
Well, I mean
guess.
like the synopsis, like not everything that happened, but like just like the elevator pitch for it.
Oh, okay. The Avengers got their ass kicked by Thanos, and things don't go exactly as they planned in the second movie. There you go.
Okay, fine. I won't talk about it until we get into spoilers. Then.
It's just so hard because like that first 15 minutes is like, wait, what? Okay.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like the thing that they do to fix everything.
Yeah, I think that's a spoiler because I
Okay.
don't because the trailers don't make it clear that that's what they're doing.
Okay. All right. I
And,
won't get
and
into it then.
yeah,
'Cause
and even when it happened for me, I'm like, oh shit, we really doing this? Okay, let's go.
yeah. God damn it. Because like the whole movie is based on that plot device or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, I love Rocket. Rocket in this was great.
Yeah.
Probably one like up there with Thor for one of my favorite characters in this universe. You
Yeah,
really get to see more of him in this one
yeah.
because all of his
I love
friends are in it.
how initially they were like what the this is weird, and after a while he's just kind of just accepted, and I
Yeah, because
like
it's a
that.
friggin' talking raccoon, and no one expected a talking raccoon to like give such emotion to a movie.
Oh, definitely.
uh, who does the voice for him again?
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did a
which
good
I
job.
yeah he's great at Rocket.
Yeah. Um, I like the transformations that Iron Man has gone through. Like, I not Iron Man, but Robert Downey Jr. Like he's got like his body transformations. Like I never noticed that in the first viewing, second viewing. Like I noticed like the things that he went
Oh,
through.
and yeah, that's kind of spoiler territory. Well, not really, but I could tell they changed it for the trailer because I remember the trailer and he doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
So when I see the movie, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? Um, so yeah,
All right.
I don't think it was him. I think it was quasi digital or whatever.
Probably, but who knows? Like actors do that. They go through things like that, but it could be digitally.
True.
I know like who's the guy that played Batman? Like he changes
Yeah,
his
Christian
body all
Bale's
the time.
crazy
Yeah,
though.
Christian Bale is crazy though. Um, do you have anything else you want to say without me?
It's the perfect end cap to not just Infinity War, but to all these movies going back to Iron Man 1.
Yeah,
Literally
it's
everything get like there's so many things that get referenced that happen from pretty much every
there
movie.
is a lot in this movie.
Yeah. The only ones that don't get mentioned are like a Hulk, but even then you have General Ross is there, so that's your connection right there. Spoilers, he's in the movie. Slightly. Um but like literally every movie gets touched on, and that's kind of crazy that happens.
Yeah, absolutely worth 10 years in the making. Absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
It made me want it. Like it actually made me rewatch Iron Man 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can relive those moments again. Uh, yeah, that first Iron Man is still real good.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Um, all right, let's get into the spoilers now.
Yeah.
It's so hard to talk about it without spoilers because
Yeah.
there's
So you
so
haven't
many
watched the
things.
movie. This is your warning.
Yeah.
This if you yeah. So
So I'm already streaming it where it says spoiler review. So if you're in here in the chat, you're an idiot if you don't want to get spoiled.
yeah.
All right,
Can't be mad at us. We gave you warnings.
where do we begin, Ben?
Well, I think we should talk about like we talked about Thor, so let's go ahead and hit that button in his arc. And the great reveal of Fat Thor.
Yeah, Fat Thor.
Yeah, that was because like when you first see him, he's kind of like drunk and like okay, that's he's depressed, you know, because he didn't kill Thanos, and he's probably still dealing with the fact that Loki's dead and his mom's dead and everything he knew is gone, at least physically,
And he blames himself for like having the half of the universe being snapped away.
because he didn't go for the head, and
Yeah.
you know, and then like then that camera turn around and you just see this big ass beer belly. I'm like, and the crowd like I laughed. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was a great comedic moment, but it at the same time it's not because you could tell like he's not okay. Like
Yeah.
he completely went into hiding, and that like it's sad and it's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Yeah, our theater laughed both times, but it's like one of those like uncomfortable laughs. It's like, oh, he got fat and he like got drunk and he's an alcoholic now.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, then you realize that's not funny. And even
Yeah.
like the way Rocket like expresses that, he's like, man, like get your shit together, like we need you. Yeah, and his transformation. So his arc, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but his arc of just like blaming himself and being in depression, like not going out. He doesn't go out unless he needs his beer. Just staying and playing video games, like that's something that speaks to me.
Yeah,
like,
I love that one. We got the confirmation that both Korg and Meek were still alive, and that Korg is playing fucking Fortnite, and you know he gets Thor to like yell at this kid who's
rip his arms off and show him up his ass.
Like goddamn, I just love that. That's it. That moment, that little moment, goes down as my favorite like media tie into a movie ever. Just like, oh, he's playing Fortnite court, and he's in this Hawaiian ass shirt too. I love it.
Yeah, and he's got the long ass hair. Like he doesn't take care of himself.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he's basically the Big Lebowski. Like he looks like the Big
well,
Lebowski.
yeah, Iron Man made that reference.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, like yeah, again, his character arc is really good. Like I said, depression. I know it's like I read on some discords where people are like, "Oh, it's like really insensitive," but I think it's not. I think it's just true. Because when I've gone through my depression like really severely a couple of years ago, and that's all I did was to stay inside and like not go out, not do anything, just eat chips and play video games and drink beer. Like that's what I did, and like getting out of that funk took a while. It took some people to get me out of it. And I just think that's true to life, and the fact that he's fat and he doesn't magically go back to being skinny or
yeah. I
fit.
kept wondering. Yeah, I figured like, okay, he's gonna like do a thing, and he's gonna be slick Thor. Like, no, even in the final battle, you can see his belly.
It's great, yeah.
And he his. I love when he gets the hammer, like his beard that gets all like nicely twisted. I love that.
He that's the only thing he did was just twist his beard up.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I just mean like that carries like an emotional scar. Like you can see the belly is like part of his a scar that leaves behind
Yeah.
of what he's.
I'm
been
pretty
through.
sure if he's in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is what they're hinting at in the end of the movie.
I don't want him fit anymore. I want him fat.
Yeah, I want him fat, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like, I got better, you know, or something. Which is fine because he'll still be comedic Chris Evans. I mean Chris Hemsworth. Sorry.
Yes, don't mix up the Chris's.
Yeah, one of them's not coming back anymore.
All right. Speaking of Chris Evans, you want to talk about Captain America?
Oh, how he got the ending he deserved. Like, because
There is so much Captain America in this. It's
yeah,
great.
Captain America's great. I love. Okay, this is kind of getting to another part, but my favorite part of this movie, besides the final battle and nearly having a fucking nerdgasm in the theater, before that is when they have their Back to the Future moment, in which like some of the Avengers go back to Avengers 1 during the Battle of Manhattan, and I think Tony comments on Captain America's ass from his costume, and then it's Cap versus Cap, and he thinks it's Loki because Loki likes intimidating Cap, and they set that in that little scene before, and he knocks him out. And he goes, "Yeah, that is America's ass."
It's because Ant-Man made the
I think it's a great
made the
ass.
comment. He goes, "As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass." And he salutes them.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Before we go into Ant-Man, let's just talk about more Captain America stuff because
Yeah.
he was huge in this.
Fuck yeah, he was.
So they
did your fucking crowd lose their shit when he grabbed Mjolnir?
Of course. I was actually like clapping, like I was trying to do like a wrestling clap somehow. I don't know how I was trying to do it, but I remember trying to do that. But yeah, the whole entire theater, like both times, lost their shit.
Because I was like, okay, that hammer, okay, Thor's gonna get the hammer. When it went away and Thor didn't grab it, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna do it. And then he grabbed it. I was like, yes, let's fucking go. Because that's like an iconic image from the comics is he's wielded several times, but like that, just him wielding Thor's hammer and getting all the powers of Thor, it's so awesome.
I was surprised he had the powers of lightning with that.
It's on the hammer.
I assumed that it came from the hammer, but I didn't know that until he actually did it.
Whoever possesses his hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. So that's why he's able to do all this.
And it's crazy because even that, like, I know it's from the comics, but it's also a callback to Age of Ultron.
Yeah, when he slightly nudges it.
Yeah, and Thor's like freaky out. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I always knew you were worthy." Like,
speaking of, one of my favorite moments in that final battle scene is when not only can Steve Rogers wield Mjolnir, but he can also wield Stormbreaker. And he grabs Stormbreaker, and Thor's like, no, you have the other one. I'll take the big one. I'm conscious about it. I love it.
It's so good. Great. Yeah. Let's go back to the Captain America versus Captain America. Before that, this takes place in the first Avengers movie, and this takes
Yeah.
place just after the movie where they capture Loki.
Yeah, I love that.
And we get to see them like not as superheroes. Like it's kind of like you get to see them when the camera's off. And
Yeah,
they're just like
exactly.
being so like nonchalant, and it kind of like caught me off guard. I was like, oh shit, like they're just talking. Like it's
Yeah, like we
ridiculous.
can just stop this posing now. It's okay. And then telling the Hulk to like take the stairs, buddy, and he's
What do you
mad.
think maximum occupancy is?
Yeah, it's so great.
I hate stairs.
And I want that as a gift. Like if I were to climb stairs, just as a gift. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
But even then, when they go down to like the base of Stark Tower time, Robert Redford's character comes back, which is like, oh wow, they got him, and like you can see, like the beginnings of that. So it makes it feel like a more connected universe. Let alone the Winter Soldier callback, like that
Yep.
was. I called that out as soon as I saw Jasper Sitwell and the guy who becomes the I can't remember his name now.
You mean the elevator scene, right?
The elevator scene, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, are we gonna do this again? But like in 2012. But then the callback to the comics where he whispers, where they have Cap whisper, "Hail Hydra," because I actually thought I had that spoiled for me because I was looking on Google for something else, and this article came up, and it's like Cap shouldn't have said "Hail Hydra." I'm like, oh no, don't tell me they ended on that. And so when I saw that, I'm like, oh, it's a riff because he's trying to prove that he's one of them. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. That's great. It's a good comic reference and it's a great joke.
Okay, I need to just pause this right now because we didn't even talk about what the fucking concept was.
Oh
So
yeah,
what
yeah.
happens in this movie is that so Thanos snapped away half the universe. They kind of fucked up.
Feel it. You feel it, by the way. Like everything feels empty. It doesn't feel right watching that movie, and everybody, half the people are gone.
So half the people are gone. Then it does the time skip, right? 5 years later.
Well, after people are gone, they're wallowing in pity.
Yeah.
And then see Tony and Nebula. By the way, I love the fact that Tony teaches Nebula how to play football or the
Yeah.
paper football.
Paper football.
And Carol Danvers rescues them, and they're trying to figure out how do we track down Thanos, and like he just used to finish those 2 days, and let's go roll up on him, let's go kill this bitch. And then they do. They literally chop off Thanos' head within the first 10 minutes of the
Well,
movie.
they think he still has the stones, but he says he destroyed them. So
Yeah.
Thor loses his shit, cuts off his arm. That happens before he tells them, and then he cuts off his fucking head with him like talking mid sentence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So you're like, holy shit, like he's dead.
That's how
What
I
are
knew.
we gonna do now? Like,
Yeah, because I thought it was gonna be like, okay, they're gonna go up, they're gonna get the Avengers, they're gonna go fight Thanos again, and he's gonna kick their asses again. It's gonna send them to super depression mode. And I was like, oh shit, where do we go now? What the fuck?
yeah.
So I was completely taken off guard with the fact that they killed Thanos within like the first 15 minutes probably.
Yeah. And then after that, 5 years later, everyone's trying to cope with the loss. Captain America has run like a little like AA kind of meeting where people are just trying to deal with their depression about.
Yeah,
the,
one of the Russo's brothers is in the
yeah,
in that
he's
scene.
the one that does the speech, right?
Yes,
Or he
yes,
does-
yes.
He has a talking line, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently that character's gay, and people are making a huge deal out of it.
I mean, it's just like I don't see why. I mean, no offense to that, but it's just like it's a one note like
Yeah, I know.
it's just another person struggling with the fact that 50% of the people are gone.
I didn't even
Why
pick
did
up
you-
that he was gay. I thought he was just talking about like he met up with a friend, but
It
apparently
could be.
he
I
is
think
gay.
you know, I remember it as gay. When
Okay.
I first read it, but it is
Okay.
what it is.
Yep. All right. So after that, Scott Lang finally gets out of the fucking microverse because
Thanks
a
to
rat
a
walked
rat.
around and activated the machine. And apparently, the time there is different. So he comes out. It was only been 5 hours for him. It's been 5 years for everyone else.
Yeah.
He's ready to go. Like, it's kind of funny because after 5 years, like, everyone's defeated, everyone's given up, they're doing their own thing. And Scott's still like, hey, like, this just happened for me, so let's go, man. Let's try and solve this. And his idea is to create a time machine, or not time machine, and go back to the past and collect the Infinity Stones, bring them back to the present, and bring everyone back. So
A time heist.
they're doing a time heist. Uh, and so yeah, that's the premise pretty much. They bring it back, unsnap everybody.
Yeah. By the way, first instance of when I almost cried is when he goes back to his house, or I guess his ex-wife's house, and he sees his daughter Cassie,
Yeah.
but she's older, like 'cause
Way
she was
older.
like yeah, she was like 8 or something in the in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's been so she would have been a teenager, and it's like, oh my god, like I can only like I cry because like I cry a little bit because like obviously she's probably sad that her dad she probably thought her dad got dusted, but
Yep.
now he's back. But also he's shocked because like you're older now. Like
Yeah.
I missed all those years. Like
It's like click.
yeah.
Yeah, it was speaking of the dusted, there was like in San Francisco there was like a memorial for all the people that got dusted. And that also builds to like it adds to the film like world building pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I can clearly see America creating all these different memorials for people that got dusted. Absolutely, because like some real stuff has happened like that, like the Twin Towers, like 9/11.
Oh, definitely.
They had the
It was
memorial.
eerie looking when they were in that scene, just like seeing all the names and like
Mhm.
it's 50% a lot of people,
It's a
and
lot.
you realize that when you look at the names and then how empty everything is.
It's billions of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just Earth.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, and not just Earth too.
Yeah. That's why Captain Marvel has is not in this movie for like I don't know 75%.
No, I'd say that's being generous. She's not in there for like 80% of the movie.
Okay, sure. She's too overpowered. We need to write her out. That's my thought.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
She had her moment,
Yep.
but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, a lot of ladies have their moments. So yeah, the thing I said about the beginning of the movie, great way to introduce it was Hawkeye. He's hanging out with his family, teaching his daughter how to shoot, and then he turns around, his daughter's not there. You can see the particle effects go away. I guess he doesn't see it because he's just like, oh, where the hell did she go? And then he turned back around, and his entire family's gone.
Yeah, I'm glad because I didn't want to see like a young kid fade away, so I'm glad I only saw the particle effects. I'm like, okay, good. But also, god damn it, I don't want to feel sad again because I watched Infinity War just the night before. I'm like, god damn it, this is still fresh. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, and that caused him to like just lose his shit and become Ronan. Ronan.
Yeah, he basically becomes the Punisher in a way, where he's just murdering dudes who are still evil. I'm like, and badassly too. Great costume and everything.
Yeah, that was a great samurai fight as well.
Yeah.
And I like the way they did it to like recruit him was like it's a classic like samurai kind of thing where after the fight he's in the rain and then Black Widow's with the umbrella and it's like signifying he's in this dark world and she's like covered or whatever. Great symbolism there.
Exactly. Get the Russo brothers to direct the Yakuza movie.
Oh my god, I would love to watch that. All right. What else do we have here? So what happened? Who else did they have to recruit? I can't remember. We talked about Thor.
We saw Valkyrie on the way to recruit Thor. That was cool. Like, oh, she's alive. But they got Thor. I think that was it. It was just Thor and Ant-Man was the thing. Oh, and they go try to recruit Iron Man because at the beginning of the movie when you see him like severely malnourished because he was in space for so long. He's like, fuck y'all, we lost. We could, and he even calls back to Age of Ultron, like, we could have had a fucking thing around the planet, but you didn't listen to me, assholes. Like, being obviously dealing with the loss of Peter Parker. You know, he's severely upset. And then we fast forward 5 years, and he has a fucking kid
with Pepper.
Like, yeah, with Pepper. Like he got what he wanted. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And he has a little cabin in the woods on the lake.
Yeah, he found his happiness in that world.
Yeah, he moved on pretty well. Like he probably was still hurting because over Peter, but you know he got his life together, which good for him.
Yeah, and his daughter is incredibly cute.
Oh yeah,
she's so precious.
You can tell, like, yeah, she was very precious.
I love you 3000.
Yeah. I don't want to make competition, but our daughter loves me more than you. I love that.
Oh my god! And then with the Love You 3000, they like they brought it back at the end where like that's just where I lost it and I
Yeah.
cried like constantly.
Yeah, but let's say that to the end. Let's say that to the end.
Okay. Yeah, so they try to recruit him. He says no, get the fuck out of here, and then he works on it obviously because he's an Iron Man. He has to
Yeah.
keep himself busy and think of solutions to things.
Yeah, something they kind of firmly established in Iron Man 3 where he's like, he just, once he knows something, he has to do it.
Yeah.
He can't turn it off. And
Nope.
even Pepper's like, I know what you got to do, and it's okay.
Yeah. So he figures it out. Meanwhile, the other guys are trying to figure out time travel. They end up making Scott Lang into a teenager, then an old man, and then a baby.
He's like, I think I peed. I think did I pee myself? Old man pee myself, or was it a baby? Oh, it wasn't me. I don't. That was great.
There's so much to this movie.
Oh, we skipped over Banner Hulk. We skipped over that.
Oh yeah, we did because he's the one that
Yeah.
ran the test. So yeah,
Yeah.
Banner Hulk is Smart Hulk is in this.
Yeah, he basically says like, well, I've treated the Hulk as a disease for years, but he finally learned how to like make it into one being. So he's not like super strong, but he's strong enough, but he retains his smarts. And there's this great scene at the diner. He fucking dabs, by the way, which I found funny because it's clearly like him trying to be hip with kids.
Well, the kids go up to him like, "Can we have a selfie?" And he's like, "Hell yeah!"
He's just enjoying it, and then like that I think this is the first like moment of laugh out loud laughter when Ant-Man tries to get a picture, and he's like, "Dude, yeah, you want a picture?" And I'm like, "No, they don't want to. No, it's okay. No, you don't have to. It's all right." And like the kids clearly don't want a picture.
The kid in the middle is like backing away and like giving him a look.
That's being at a con, by the way. When you're at a table and you're signing for somebody, and there's somebody like, "Hey, you want to get there?" So I'm like, "Yeah, no, yeah," and you got to be it's super fucking awkward.
Yeah.
But Banner Hulk was great. Like, just it was a great compromise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then what was after that again? They did the test. Tony comes back. He tells them how to do it.
Yeah.
When everyone's coming back, Scott's just hanging out trying to eat his tacos, and the fucking wind blows away his taco.
Oh yeah, and then Hulk just comes out and gives him 2 more tacos. I love that.
That was so heartwarming.
Yeah, it didn't. You like in any other movie that would have been cut, but with this movie, no, it's in. Here you go. Here's 2 more.
Like tacos. It shows like, hey, they don't know each other all that well, but like they still stick out for each other.
Exactly.
It's just like team building.
Nebula calling Ant-Man an idiot. I'm like, God damn.
He didn't
Nebula.
deserve that. He was just sitting there.
Just eating his taco that got his shit blown out. That got all of the stuff blown out. Like, God damn.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I really like Nebula in this.
Yeah, Nebula was great. Both Nebulas are great in this. Well, yeah, Nebula's great. She didn't. I mean, she has a great arc during the course of the Guardians 1 and 2. Not that much Infinity War because she was kind of just captured, but she had her action moments. But definitely in this one, like it comes kind of full circle of what she's been through at the hands of Thanos.
Yeah. So then after that, they do a test on the Pym particles. They're limited because Uncle Pym is gone. What was it now? They're talking about time travel, and this is where like people are gonna either go along with it or just say this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because whenever you're dealing with time travel, there's always going to be rules and rules that get broken, and there's going to be plot holes and stuff like that. Apparently, in this universe, changing the past doesn't change the future because if you're in the future, you can't do what happened in the past. So that's paradox has been cut off. So whatever the hell you do in the past doesn't affect.
Also, I love the fact that like War Machine and all the characters you kept referencing like Back to the Future and Terminator about like how the time like no how you don't know how this works. That's not how this works. Like, stop talking about it that way. And like this is so great. I love that they brought him up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Scott, he is an idiot because he says Die Hard, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Die Hard?
Like what? Yeah, Scott's. I don't think he's an idiot. I think he's just nervous.
Yeah, because he's still fanboying, right?
Yeah,
because he's a superhero fanboy. Like he loves Captain America. Like that's his number one hero. So yeah, then they do a test run. Hawkeye goes into the past, grabs the mitt, tries to talk to his daughter, but gets taken back. They can go in the past. They confirm they could go in the past and take stuff now. Then they suit up for it. Stop me if I'm missing anything, by the way.
I mean, I don't think so. No, like maybe some small character moments, but like in terms of the big stuff, I think that's pretty much where we go. Where they realize, okay, this is a go.
Oh, this
We
is
can
where
do
they're
this.
they're cutting, doing the plan, right?
Yeah.
And they finally figure out that they can get the stones with 3 different teams.
Oh yeah, they're trying to figure out like like where the stones are at any given time.
Yeah.
Which is great. There was a joke in there that I remember where they were all sitting on a table. I can't remember it now. Fuck.
Oh yeah, they were sitting on the table trying to figure it out, and that's where they figured it out. Where all 3 stones were in New York, and that's where they went to the first Avengers.
Yeah. Well, they went into 2012 Avengers. Then they go. Then another team goes to Morag, which is Guardians of the Galaxy 2014, and the other there was one. Oh, and there was one more.
Oh, they go to Morning, and they also go to the Soul Stone.
Right. Okay, so it was 3 teams, but 2 of them were set in 2014.
Yeah, and then the last
okay.
one I think is like Thor 2, maybe. Thor?
Oh, right. That's the one I was thinking of, where they go back to 2013. Thor. Surprisingly, Thor: The Dark World, and Natalie Portman had a new scene. Like they got her for that one shot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, so then they go back in time. Let's actually talk about the Sorceress Supreme for this moment, because I was really happy that she came back, because I actually missed her.
Yeah, I love the fact that it showed that, because arguably when you watch Avengers 1, the Sanctum Sanctorum is there. So I love that you got to see the Sanctum Sanctorum shooting Chitauri aliens out of the sky.
Yeah, she was fighting too, man. She wasn't slacking.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. I'm like, oh shit. And then you have Hulk go to her to try to get the Time Stone. Because I think that's where the Time Stone's at.
And let's actually just talk about that whole part as one chunk instead of breaking it up. So, like, he just tries to take it by force for the first time, and she's like, fuck that, and then knocks his soul out of his body.
Yeah.
And then,
I kind of expected, like, because he was out, for the Hulk to be all Rage Monster again.
Oh.
But to cause that kind of problem, like, no, they didn't. He was just unconscious. Like, okay, fine, whatever.
Okay. So then they start having the discussion about it, and we learn that the way the world works, which I need to talk about this afterwards. The way the world works is that they have the gems, and it creates the flow of time. Removing one of the gems causes an alternate reality, or like a different ugly world. I don't know.
A different strand of time, like Back to the Future. Here's the good 1985. Here's the bad 1985.
So that's why she doesn't want to give up the stone. And my only question is, since all the stones are gone in our present Avengers world, what does that mean for that world?
They're all gone. So it's not like a stone is missing, because they destroyed the Infinity Stones in the comics before. So it just means like they're not. You know, maybe they'll give birth to another evil that was the stones were guarding or some shit. I don't know. Okay. But that's a future movie to discuss.
I hope they get into that, because that's something that I want to know about. But I doubt they will.
Maybe Doctor Strange 2 would probably be the closest, considering he deals with that kind of ethereal shit.
Yep. And then then he's trying to convince her to give it to him. Then he says Doctor Strange just willingly gave it away, even though, like, she says, the Time Stone, we have to protect it at all costs. That's part of what we do at the Wizards of the Coast.
The Comertage, yeah.
I don't know their actual order name.
They don't have an organization name. They're just like, she's just the Sorcerer Supreme, and those are her sorcerers, and they are at the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah. And so he says, Doctor Strange just gave it away. Also, she knows about Doctor Strange, and that he's 5 years too late because he's looking for Doctor Strange. It's just kind of fun. I
love that, like, he's over there doing surgery. You know, I love that. I wish they would have cut away or something. That would have been so good.
So then she's trying to figure out why, because he's supposed to be the best Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
And then she just decides to give it to him, because why would Doctor Strange give it away? That's bullshit.
It must have been for a reason, so...
Yeah. So that's one. Time Stone done. I forgot about the two. That Loki had two of those stones.
Yeah, he had the because initially we only knew. Well, actually, we didn't even know the Tesseract was a Infinity Stone when Avengers One came out. We didn't know that
I
till
thought
Thor: The
we.
Dark World.
I thought we did figure it out then.
No, it was just called the Tesseract, and a lot of people back then it was being touted as it's shaped like the a thing in Marvel called the Cosmic Cube, so that's what people were calling it.
Hmm.
And then they changed it to the Tesseract in the movie. So, but we didn't know it was an Infinity Stone until I think in the post-credit sequence of Thor 2, they delivered the red one, the Reality Stone, or what it was called, the Ether at the time. And
Yeah.
it's like, also that goes, it's not wise to keep two Infinity Stones so close together. So obviously, they're talking about the Tesseract. So yeah, but we didn't know at the time, but now we do.
Yeah. So.
The Mind Stone, which is in the Scepter, which again we also didn't know until Age of Ultron.
Yeah. And we kind of already talked about it, but the elevator sequence, the stairs stuff, that's all part of the plan to try and get the.
Oh yeah, and I love like like they I can't remember why they did it, but like I guess they see Hulk and they tell Banner Hulk to go out there and like he just takes a shot and he's just like casually like
That was one thing I really did actually like in that. Like I get the bit and I like the bit, but there's like no real reason for it. They just
yeah,
put it
I
in there
guess
because it's funny.
well I think they're trying to like make sure he like sticks in, but like I don't yeah I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but I just don't think it
Uh,
belonged. Like that's a good like DVD extra or Blu-ray extra.
I guess I like it because he's trying to blend in so people are like wait there are two Hulks running around.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
All right. So the plan was for we talked about Captain America trying to get
The Mind Stone, which is in the Scepter.
the scepter. So he does that. He gets it right. And
Yeah,
the Tesseract is the one that gets away.
Yeah, the Tesseract goes awry because the Hulk smashes through
The stairs.
the stairs because they actually have it. They get it. They cause a comeuppance with Robert Downey Jr. Dressed in SWAT armor, and as they're getting away, the Hulk bashes through the staircase or through the stair entrance, and it causes it to fall next to Loki. And Loki's just like, "Bye, bitches." And he just takes
picks
the
it up.
Tesseract. He just takes it. I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess." And I was like, "Well, that's NC Loki's new Disney series to see where he goes from there."
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So after that, we have let's talk about the Power Stones. The Power Stone stolen that the Temple of the Power Stone.
Yeah,
Uh, and who is it that's taking it?
it was War Machine and Nebula.
War Machine and Nebula. And what we see them like trying to look out for Quill because he's coming in to take it. That's the beginning of Guardians. They see him and I think they actually do just play
They play the
part.
music like the beginning, like "Come and get your," and then they cut out, and it's just Star Lord just doing the thing, and you don't hear any music. I'm like,
Yeah, and
oh my
he's
God.
singing to himself, which is great. Because, like, I would do the
Yeah.
exact same thing. I would sing to myself if I was listening to that music.
It was great, and then like he's an idiot, isn't he? Yes, he like that's the number one thread throughout these movies. Like Peter Quill, you are a fucking idiot.
Yeah, so then Nebula just takes him out. Just knocks him
Yeah.
unconscious. And
Easy, yeah.
then they take the orb, which is, like, the thing that he used to get the Power Stone out. But they didn't use that. Nebula just sticks her robotic arm in and grabs the stone and takes it out.
To Rhodey's horror, he's what the fuck.
Yeah, then there's a whole thing with she gets knocked out, and President Nebula takes her over. But there was like a whole thing with her brain. Like apparently,
Yeah, so
the way that I understand it, I don't know. You can correct me on this if you understand it differently. But the way I understood it was that she's like connected to like the cloud basically, and that shares the memories between her present and future Nebula.
yeah, I would say that, and it caused because I guess the user shouldn't recognize more than one. Let's call Nebula device more than one device. It causes a freak out, like a headache moment.
Yeah.
Which I love that because it's a way to get Thanos involved, but like it makes none of the Avengers like idiots.
Yeah.
It just you couldn't have seen that coming.
Yeah,
and that's how we get Thanos into the role.
Yep. Oh yeah, so then his daughter freaks out and then he strings her up like he always does and tries to rip out the memories from her. Fuck Thanos, man. Uh, he's an asshole. So then that's how he learns about the entire future. That he gets what he wants, but then ends up getting killed.
Yeah.
And this is what makes him more vengeful than he was in the first Infinity
Yeah,
War.
because you can tell like he's more like in 2014 he was more tyrannical. Like I'm a bad guy Thanos versus the philosopher that he is in Infinity War, which I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna get this evil Thanos just as well. He's like, well, I saw what my plan did, I was successful, but y'all kill me, now you all gotta die.
Yep, yep. Yeah. So then he figures that out. Nebula ends up past Nebula ends up taking the identity of future President Nebula
Nebula, yeah.
and takes her place, and then goes into the present.
They go back in 2014 to our current 2019.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I love that Thanos, when he realizes it's the Avengers, he gave like a classic 80s sort of like villain, the Avengers. Like, I love that. I don't know why, but I love that.
Yeah. So that's done. Let's move on into the Soul Stone. So I don't know how they didn't figure out what they had to do to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Nebula, you're fucked up. You didn't tell him this?
Yeah, I know. So
Although I'm not gonna lie to you, because it was the Red Skull, I severely wanted Tony or Cap to go to that, because you could have easily put Clint in Avengers 1, and you could have had Steve and Tasha go there and still Natasha take the sacrifice, and then have Steve see the realization of like, Skull, you're still alive, and like have that. But that's whatever. I can live without that not happening.
Yeah, that's. So eventually they have to bring him back, right? So and Captain does that, and so when he brings back the Soul Stone, does he talk to Red Skull at all? Do you think?
Maybe, yeah, maybe that'd be a cool deleted scene. Russo brothers just saying, but basically they recreated the scene between Thanos and Gamora, but with a little different.
With Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Yeah, we're like, well, one of us has to do it. Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna do this, and then they fight each other. Which, by the way, because it doesn't look that high up when you're seeing it, but they made it look higher.
Oh yeah,
with certain angles. I'm like, holy shit, that's far.
I always thought it was super high up, but that's just me. Yeah, so they fight over it, pretty dramatically too. Like there was parts where you're like, "Oh, this is it. Nope. This is it. Nope." It's like a lot of false finishes.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, 1, 2, near fall, and then a roll,
Right.
and a roll up. 1, 2, near fall, and then they super kick each other.
I obviously thought that Natasha was going to be the one that bites the dust because Hawkeye has a family to get back. So
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised by that. A lot of people in my audience were, like both times.
I think it would have been surprised either way, because like if you did Hawkeye, like all that moment of that it could have been a red herring, like to my family, and then ultimately like, well, my family, I'm one minor person, the whole universe rests on this, my family can go on without me, kind of thing. But it was nice that Hawkeye gets the happy ending. Versus Natasha, like she doesn't really have anybody but the Avengers, and she knows what she's doing, whatever the whole mantra, whatever it takes. It was so super sad because like she's been there since Iron Man 2.
Yeah, she's been around for a very long time. And she was kind of the one that was like in charge of like shield kind of or Avenger activities rather. After everything that happened, she was the one in command. So, and they also brought up the whole thing of like they were her only family.
Yeah, pretty much. This cold woman who learned to have a family through the Avengers.
Yeah.
It just really sucks. Like Nebula, you could have told them.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of dick move. Like that's kind of like, because you could tell nobody told them that.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like
maybe actually, you know what? Why would Nebula know?
Well, she knew because Thanos came back without
Right.
sister.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So she knew that she was dead, but she didn't know how.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's the one part I'm like, Nebula, why? Like, why wouldn't you tell him that?
Yeah.
Maybe part of maybe like she thought they would find a way to like subvert the rules, but with the Soul Stone, you can't subvert the rules.
Yeah.
Someone you really can't.
I don't even know what you would have to do to get it
To
without
get the
someone dying.
Yes, it's really weird, but I thought it was still like a meaningful death.
Yeah.
Even the music cues were the same.
Yeah, it was the same from Infinity War. Um, so then that's taken care of. All right, so back to the Tesseract. Tony and Stark have the idea of going even further back in time to get both Pym particles, because they're on the last ones, and the Tesseract.
Yeah, from the 1970s.
1970s, where Captain America was born. And that's where we get our Stanley cameo.
It was very brief, and I almost cried a little bit. I'm glad it was brief, so I didn't have to linger on it too much.
Make love, not
Make
war.
love, not war.
That's his last one, right?
His last living one, at least.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't do any more.
Okay. So now they have to infiltrate this base. They do it fairly easily. They just dress up like scientists and military personnel.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is like super easy. They just infiltrate, take the shit they need.
Yeah, and I kind of expected it to like turn into a chase scene. It never does. We get a nice moment between Tony Stark and his father,
Yeah.
even though he doesn't know it. He gets some closure there with his dad. And
they get to talk about their kids with each other,
yeah,
which is so weird. It's like really weird and really like heartwarming.
Yeah,
because he gets to like know what his dad actually was. Like, there was a really good quote where his dad's like, maybe you remember it better than I do, but it's like the greater good has fairly outweighed my own intentions or my own self-interests.
I think so. Yeah, I can't remember it myself.
Because he didn't want his son to be like him. That's why he brought up the quote. He says, "I'd rather have a daughter because it would turn out less like me."
Right.
So yeah, I think it's really touching. And then Captain America's touching moment was that he sees Peggy, his old flame.
And that urge to probably like he probably wanted so badly to burst through that door and say like, Peggy, I'm here, you know.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he's even seen her. well, like previous her, I guess, not old her.
Right.
All right. So then we get the stones come back. Bad Nebula is here. She betrays them.
Which we get okay, so we're kind of cutting over the moment where they get all the stones together and they build this gauntlet, and they were like arguing like who's gonna take it, and like Thor's like no, I got this, and like they're belligerent. He's belligerent about it. And basically in the groundwork for the end of the movie, we're like, well, they laid at the beginning. We're like, if you do this, you have to be if you're human, you're probably not gonna survive this.
Yeah,
because of the amount of energy, and that's why Hulk kind of takes the blow because he could probably handle it the most.
He's like, it's mostly gamma. I can handle it. It's like, all right, say whatever you want to say. And then like while he has the glove on, his fucking arm is bursting into flames or something. It's like melting away his skin. But yeah, he snaps it, and dramatically we find out that everyone's been brought back.
Yeah, well, like you first get well, my favorite is when you hear Scott Lang go out to like the like I guess the Traverse area.
Yeah.
And you can hear more birds because like the movie's eerily quiet when they're in public. They move with like animals, and like I love how you can tell everything's kind of okay with like the light and the birds, and then you see the phone ringing and it's Clint's wife. Clearly, like I started crying there too, like oh my god, they actually did it. Because this movie's fucked me all sorts of sideways. So who maybe they were never gonna get everybody back. I don't fucking know.
Well, Spider-Man had to come back at least, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Nebula betrays them and uses the time machine to bring Thanos' entire fleet here.
Which I love. Oh my god! Like my gut hasn't fallen like that sense of dread since Infinity War last year. Where like everything's okay. Oh, and the second you see that thing come through the window, I went, oh no! Like my gut dropped because like they're not ready. Thor's fat, Hulk's arms hurt, Iron Man's old, and like Tony. I mean Steve is just like and it's like
Steve is
oh my
just a
god.
mortal man, you know, like
It's like no, no, don't! I can't have this. Like I felt like I was in terror, because of what that once the ship arrived and it blasted. Like
yeah.
no, they're
That
not ready. They're not ready.
yeah, seeing that shot from above the Avengers compound and just seeing all those missiles just fucking shoot and fire and destroy that entire compound. I was like,
Yeah,
are they dead? Like, did they just kill off that entire cast? And then like the people that came back have to fight now? Like, I was just like, what the fuck happened? Uh yeah, I was in total dread like you, in terror. And yeah. Can you take over from here?
yeah. So basically, Thanos' war fleet arrives, and he's gonna they're trying to find the gauntlet, which Clint has in the sewers. Which, by the way, I love that little like alien-esque scene of him running away from all those demon dogs.
Yeah.
Thanos has. And I love that shot of seeing the big three of Cap, Thor, and Iron Man walking towards Thanos, and they fight him. And I'm not gonna lie, it was funny seeing Fat Thor, but like he was still capable. He was still doing
Just
things.
because he's fat doesn't mean he's lost his powers.
Exactly. It's such a hair, but like I couldn't help but like, oh no, this is gonna be a repeat. No, I can't handle this again. No. Like Iron Man gets thrashed, Thor gets thrashed until finally it's down to Cap. Cap gets his shield busted, which I think which by the way, that was a great moment. We talked over that, where Tony gives back the shield.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
was super awesome. But that we already talked about earlier, but the moment where where Mjolnir flies. Oh, we didn't even talk about Mjolnir with Thor going in his past. We missed over that part.
Oh yeah, we did.
Uh,
We did talk over that. Yeah.
yeah, Thor and Rocket go to the Dark World to remove the ether from Natalie Portman's butt, and in the meantime, Thor has a cathartic moment with his mother.
Yeah,
And
Thor, like, Rocket tries to talk Thor into like going through with the plan of distracting his, what was it? Her name, Jade.
Jane Foster. Yeah,
Jane. Okay.
Yeah, Jane Foster. Yeah.
So distract Jane, and then Rocket can stick a thing up her butt and extract the ether. He has to do it on his own, which he does because he's Rocket. He's
Yeah.
capable. Well, Thor wanders off and talks to his mom before she dies.
Which he steals Mjolnir, by the way. And I kept wondering, oh my god, what about regular Thor? What's he gonna like? He's just gonna go hammer for the next 5 minutes.
Well, when they bring it back, it'll only be gone for like a minute or
Right, it's
two.
just so like I'm like that's messed up, Thor. That's
But yeah, that was actually a great moment. I love the conversation between him and his mom, and
Yeah.
like when you're in times of crisis, you turn to the people that you like respect and have confidence in their opinions, right?
yeah, exactly.
And that's what he has with his mom, is that he has a high esteem of her.
Yeah, which by the way, oh, this is the other Tom Hiddleston cameo where they try to sneak past him in prison. He's just like trying to sneakily sneak past them. That was so great.
Mhm.
But yeah, so yeah, that was a great moment. I can't believe we glossed over that. But
And I think she's the one that told him, it's like, you need to stop being what people want you to be and just be yourself.
Exactly.
And that's like great advice, because
Mhm.
I've had issues of that where I had an ideal version of me that was so high and unreachable that I need to come back down and like become myself. So that's why I'm saying like I relate with him so much.
Yeah.
And also, like, I love the part where he does get Mjolnir back, and he's like, "I'm still worthy. Like, I'm a fuck up, but I'm still
That
worthy."
reassurance, man.
Yeah, like that was a powerful moment too. All right, let's jump back to the fight.
So they're fighting, and of course Cap. Like I think Thor's, from what I remember. Sorry, it's been a couple of days for me, and it's kind of a blur. Just 'cause so much happens in that movie. Thor's fighting against Thanos, and all of a sudden you see Mjolnir coming from the battle, and it misses Thor completely, and then You get to see Captain America like grab it and
You know what's fun
lightning.
is that we talked about that. That was like one of the first things we said.
It's just one of the best parts of the fucking movie.
It's amazing. Like we just had to get that like out of ourselves. We had to just
Yeah.
talk about the best parts immediately.
Yeah, but even then, that doesn't appear enough because like then Thanos ports in all of his armada and his like dogs of war and his children of Thanos, and then, dude, I
No,
not
no,
this
no!
next part.
Don't talk about this part because the previously there's Nebula faces Nebula,
Oh, right, right, yes, yes, yes.
and I don't know. They're trying to convince past Nebula that Thanos is an asshole and don't
Yeah, like
side
look
with
at what
him,
he's done. What he will do to you. Like, come on.
and it's not enough. And so Nebula shoots Nebula, and she's dead.
Yeah, but our Nebula's still alive. So it's like I don't.
That's the number one paradox that has me there because, as they said, future self can't affect anything in the past
Yeah.
because then the future self wouldn't exist or like
So like my guess is it's like a weird loop where like all the regular stuff we had happen, and then it gets a weird loop. Then we loop again, and then that's where Nebula dies. It's weird. It's I don't think about it. It's really
so
weird.
maybe like if I think about this too much it'll be like
It's like any
so
time travel movie.
Nebula that we have now will end up in the future where she has to go to the past and be with Thanos and then die there and I don't know that's just
It's any if you any time travel movie, any good time travel movie, you think about it too hard, it falls apart.
yeah
Any one of them because it's just one of those things you can't think too much about it. But yeah, they kill Nebula and Gamora's kind of like 2014 Gamora because 2018 Gamora kind of died. Is now back. It was cool. I didn't expect to see her, although I should have considering she was alive and well at the time.
yeah all right so then yeah go ahead and have a nerdgasm.
So basically, Cap is on his ropes. Thanos' army, and not just him, is like on the verge. They're mounting, and like, oh my god, they're gonna fuck with the world. The Avengers are done. And then all of a sudden, you hear like a static. I'm like, what's that? And you hear in the faintest, and like, and I had a pretty good silent theater, but I think it's done on purpose. Um, uh, Cap, can you read me? And I just like, I first like gasp, and then you hear a Cap on your left and
Oh
you're like, and then I went, oh shit, and then you see the Doctor Strange portals. I went, oh shit, and then you're thinking, okay, it's just gonna be Avengers. No, fucking everyone shows up. All the Avengers, the Magicians of Convertage, the Valkyries, the Asgardian army, all of them show up, and I'm just like, oh my god, we're about to do this. And then like Cap goes, is this everybody? Tony goes like, are you kidding? You want more? And he says the line, Avengers assemble, and then it like, oh my god, and the music is this like this. I listened to that track again. It's just crescendo, and not gonna lie, the first 2 hours of that movie were like nice and fun, but and it was all slow built to that one fucking moment, and then they're all flying around and doing their crazy shit, and just like it was a comic book double page spread come to fucking life. Um, Oh my god, so many good moments in that fight. Like just oh my it was a culmination of everything. And and then I even skipped over the part where Captain Marvel comes like the Thanos' gunship starts shooting down on everybody and the battle starts to turning
and
and
the
like wait a
mages
minute.
were holding up like trying to protect everyone with their shields.
Yeah, and then like the gunships start pointing up, and all of a sudden, like, and I couldn't remember because she was in the movie. Like, wait, who is that? Oh my god, who is like? Yeah, it's Captain Marvel, and she takes down Thanos' warship by herself. Oh yeah, let's go. Um, just super awesome, and like all the Avengers get a moment. Every Black Panther gets a moment. Captain Marvel goes one on one with Thanos, and she legit put him on his knees. And I think there's a moment where Thanos punches her, and she doesn't flinch. And I'm
He
like,
headbutts her.
yeah. And then and the only reason he damaged her is he takes out the Power Stone, puts it physically in his hands, and then punches her.
That came
It's like,
as a surprise to me when he did that. I was like, oh shit. And then
yeah, that's
boom!
how serious he is. Um, Peter Parker comes back, and he's like activates instant kill mode, a
And
reference from home.
he's talking constantly to Tony. Like he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I got all dusty, and then like I just woke up and you were gone, and then Doctor Strange says, "Oh, it's time to go," and then and then Tony just hugs him, and he's like, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah, this is yeah, and like they're like it's just basically a race for the gauntlet. Who can get the gauntlet
Yeah.
first? And then Doctor Strange stops like this big tidal wave from coming in. Um, Winter Soldier, or I guess White Wolf or Bucky, whatever you want to call him, has a great moment. Um, but then I love this moment where Peter gets the gauntlet, and all of a sudden Captain Marvel is like, "Hey, Peter, you got something for me?"
Yeah.
And then like the cavalcade of all the female characters, Wasp, Okoye, um, oh fuck, Nebula, shit, Captain Marvel, of course. All of them
Valkyrie.
just like Valkyrie, like, yeah, let's fucking I am woman, hear me roar, let's fucking go. So many that moment was so cool. Oh, it was such a cool just seeing them all there. And of course, the plan was basically to get the stones to back in time so that way Thanos can't use them. There's even a cute little Ant-Man and Wasp reference where well, we need to get that van open, which the ugly van isn't there. You even hear the Kuracha theme, which I was like,
Has anyone seen an ugly van anywhere?
so great, so great. And then by the way, and fucking Ant-Man is Giant Man for like the first half
Oh
of the
yeah,
battle.
when they all have like assembled and all, it goes. Do we have any more? And then I think that's when Ant-Man popped up, right? As gigantic.
Giant Man was super
And he
awesome.
was just stomping on fools. It was great.
Yeah, it was super great. Oh my god. It was so and the battle kind of winds down a little bit, and then like you could tell like it's kind of even, and it's all boiling down to who's gonna get the gauntlet, and there's a moment where Thanos almost gets the gauntlet, and he gets the gauntlet, and he's about to do the snap again. I'm like, oh no, not again.
This is when Iron Man and him are fighting.
And Iron Man steals the gems. I don't know how he steals the gems.
There's a part where he can just rip out the gems. Like I watched it again. Yeah. He can do it.
Okay. It's kind of, again, that final scene's kind of a blur, especially when you're caught up in the excitement. Like my chest was bumping hard, dude. I was like,
so yeah, then Thanos does the snap, nothing happens, and then you just see all the gems crawl up on the suit of Iron Man, go into his hand.
Thanos says, it doesn't matter, I am inevitable. And then in bittersweetness, Tony says, well, I am Iron Man, and then snap.
Yeah.
And Thanos' armies go dusted. And I like Thanos is like, he's not like doing a Vinland thing where he's like, no, this is impossible. He kind of just he's kind of like sits down. He's like, well,
he gets to see it all disappear before his eyes.
I'm gonna take this L. I lost.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do. And I think this is the moment where I cried the hardest. Like I could not so basically, as they set up earlier, that using the all 6 Infinity Gems is a humongous strain. Like the only reason Thanos and Hulk, and that's the reason Hulk's not even in the battle, is because the strain from using the snap, which is kind of bad because like Hulk wasn't using either of these movies. But
also Hulk, like in a certain scene, you can see him with a sling. Like you could clearly tell that his arm was like he's still selling after the fight.
Exactly. But basically, so you see Tony and his body is limped up and he's badly damaged. At first, I thought he was okay. I'm like, okay, he's just hurt. It's fine. It's okay. He's fine. He's fine. And then when Peter goes up to him and Peter realizes it, I started crying. Yeah. And then when Pepper goes, it's okay, honey. You can rest. And then I lost it. Like I legit like my theater was quiet. I could hear like a couple of the people crying, and it's like fuck, man, like I'm getting a little emotional right now too. It's like, like it was like because we've been with this guy for 10 years.
Yeah.
Or 11 years now, through like 8 different movies, and he grew as a character like in a way that's not possible. And to know that like you did it, you did it. You did it. And then I started crying again when they're at the funeral and they put the boat in the water and you see a little plaque that says that Tony Stark has a heart from Iron Man 1.
Yep.
It's like
that's where Pepper like saved it in
Like fuck, man.
He still had it for those 10. I could hear you choking up to it.
He still had it, man. It's just like.
Yep.
Like I knew, like we all knew, either like Cap or Tony or Thor had to die. One of them was gonna die, but you're not like, and that's why I said to somebody, "You think you're ready for Endgame? You're not ready for Endgame," because
No.
I wasn't ready. I'm not ready to say goodbye. Like you,
I'm still not ready. I still cried like the second time I watched it. I was like, man, you can't do him like that.
That's like, to me, like that death scene is just on the same level as Logan's, as Hugh Jackman's death scene in Logan,
Yeah.
where it's just like fuck, man, like don't go, please, like you, why, you know, like I felt like, I can only imagine if you're like a young teenager who, like when you were a kid, started watching Iron Man, and then you're like, you know, you're like maybe 15, 16 years old, and how that's messing with you, but like,
oh yeah,
and how the pull up of everyone is there, like all the Avengers are there, and there's one character that people were freaking out about, like who is that guy? It's actually the kid from Iron Man 3.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Which is, I'm like, and now, and then that made me cry again. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Like, you know, and Nick Fury sees him goodbye, and it's like fuck.
That's
like,
all Nick Fury did was just walk on. He's like,
yeah, and then Happy goes to his daughter. You know, it's like, what do you like, kiddo? Cheeseburgers, and that's what Tony liked.
And that's a reference to the first movie when he comes back after being tortured. It's like, what do you want? He goes, I want cheeseburgers.
All the cheeseburgers you want, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yeah.
That whole like, and then so the final scene is God, I'm sorry. The final scene is basically like, okay, we got to put the stones back together, where they belong, and so they leave it up to Cap, Cap, like they said, Cap will be gone for like, it'll be 5 years. Sometimes over here, but he'll be back in like 5 seconds. But he doesn't come back, and they're like, "Wait, what's going on?" And then they look, hey, look over there, and it's an elderly Steve Rogers. And
they did a good job with that too.
Yeah, I was like, is that, like, you can tell it's him, but like, it's so weird. Like it's uncanny valley level of weird. And he's like, you know, I went back and I lived my life. You know, and he presents the shield to Sam Wilson, which I was like, oh wow, they're not even gonna give it to Bucky. Okay.
I don't think Bucky would want it. Like he's his own. He's his own guy right now. Like he's doing fairly well.
It could have been either or, because that's how it was in the comics. It went from Steve to Bucky to Sam, to back to Steve, back to Sam. So like, it's kind of cool that Sam shield now. So that was really emotional. And then the final scene. Is,
well, let's go over. He actually goes back in time. He actually marries the woman of his.
Mary's Pig.
It sounds like, hey, do you want to tell me about her? And he's like, no. And I think even before that was Thor. He's joining the
Galaxy. Yeah.
He's the Asgardians of the Galaxy, baby.
Yeah, that whole fucking testosterone check between Thor and Peter Quill was so good. Like, it's your ship. It's yes. Just like
of course, it's your ship.
and the course. Just like I want, like, please let Thor be, like, don't write him. James Gunn, please don't write him off like, oh, Thor went away or something. He needs to be in Guardians 3.
He needs to be there. He
needs to be in it.
He fits like, even like Chris Hemsworth, like the actor. He fits so well with the
like, and I love that, like, literally the Guardians of the Galaxy, now that Gamora's gone, is literally a team full of idiots.
Yeah,
like we're all a bunch, like, it was so nice to see Drax. Drax had a nice moment in there too. Oh my god, it's so good to see Drax. But yeah, like, of course it's your shit. Of course. Just like, why are you touching me? Like, I'm the captain, so why are you touching my thing? Oh my god, that was so great. But then that previous scene of where basically Thor relinquishes his throne to Valkyrie, so now she's king of Asgard now.
Yep.
So that's also pretty cool.
And he says, like, I need to stop, like, again, the theme of he needs to stop being what people want him to be and be his own man. Exactly. And that's how he's gonna do it. He's like, I don't have a path in life anymore, but I have a ride. And that's kind of where I'm seeing my life right now. It's like, you know, I don't.
Exactly.
I've lost my path, but I know I'm in a safe ride. Yeah. So then let's go back to the end of the movie. So it pans out from Chris or Captain America, thinking about his wife, and he goes back to the past, and you see him and Peggy dancing.
Yeah, and like from Captain America: First Avenger, you owe me a dance before he
Take a rain check on that dance.
yeah, and he picked up that rain check. And I'm glad Cap couldn't have died because I don't think if I could have I couldn't I think I would have been like in a fucking like crying coma if both Steve and Tony died.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they gave Cap the happy ending.
Yeah. They ended it on a happy note.
Yeah. And and even the credits were different. The credits were like all shimmering and bright, like because this like I know you don't really like comics, Thomas, but like superhero comics, they don't fucking end. They can't.
Yeah.
Like this is like such a different feeling where like, holy shit, this story's over.
Like it's wrapped
Like
up.
it's done. Like
You're not gonna get another Iron Man or Captain America anymore.
yeah, I mean maybe like in 15 years when they reboot everything, sure, but I'll probably be dead by that point. But so I guess can we talk about the fact that there's no real post credit scene?
Yeah, there is none.
So yeah, there's none, and for once, like I'm okay with that because I fully expected there to be one like to set up the Skrulls or Galactus or Doctor Doom or something.
Yeah, I knew about there was no post credits, so I didn't bother sticking around. The only thing that I've read is that there's like some metal clangs at the end.
Yeah, it's like the clang from Iron Man 1. Like
yeah, that's
that
what
same
people are
sort
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like that made me cry again because I'm like Tony.
My friend wanted to stick around and hear the clangs last night, and I was like, no, like it's 10 o'clock. I need to get home.
Yeah,
because it takes me like 2 hours to get home. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm really glad there wasn't a post credit scene because it was like no, let's let this sit.
Yeah, let people ponder on this.
Yeah, let's they got their they lost in the last movie, and they almost lost this time, but everything got a nice, neat little bow.
You had your dinner. Now it's time to digest.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, I'm pretty sure Spider-Man: Far From Home will have something at the end, either related to Spider-Man or like the season or whatever the next big Marvel movie is. But like for now, I'm okay. They didn't need to do one. They didn't have to set up anything. They can set up later. Let's enjoy this.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
Again, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
You're getting your money's worth from this movie.
And the thing is, it doesn't feel like 3 hours. Once you're watching it, and it's like you want it to be longer because you want more character moments. I wanted more Doctor Strange and all those other characters, but obviously they had their moments. The way I justify it is like they had their moments in Infinity War. Like Doctor Strange and the Guardians of the Galaxy, they had their badass moments then. So I'm okay with them kind of being set to the side a little bit in this movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Because literally every. Also, rest in peace, Vision. Rest in peace, Black Widow. I think that was it. Surprisingly, but yeah, rest in peace, and rest in peace, Tony. And rest in peace, Cap, because he's probably not going to be around much longer.
Yeah, but yeah. I actually do want to talk about some suggestions for what will be next.
Okay.
I've seen people throw around both X-Men and Doctor Doom. Like one or the other, not both, obviously, but like one or the other. They'll bring in X-Men or they'll have Doctor Doom.
I think, well, obviously, because Thanos is a pretty big villain to build up to 10 years worth, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It was a long road to get to Thanos.
Yeah, it was.
But like, I think the only villain that can match that magnitude is Doctor Doom. Because of how what he's done, and he's a more dangerous villain than Thanos is, and Thanos is pretty up there.
Do you want to talk about it? Because I have no idea about Doctor. All I know about Doctor Doom is that he has an iron face.
He's an iron face. He's super. Basically, he's a rival to. If you bring in Doctor Doom, that means you're introducing Fantastic Four, and Doctor Doom is basically super smart, super intelligent, like smart as like Tony Stark, and probably smarter than Shuri. He has his own country, Latveria, which they could easily say it's always been there, but never it just never was a thing.
Yeah, just like
Um,
Wakanda. Like that
yeah,
that didn't come in until way late.
exactly. And so basically, Doctor Doom, like, not only is he like, at least in the comics, is he a very like uses science, but he also uses magic. He knows how to time travel. Like, he's conquered the world several times. Like, he's very dangerous. Like, he's considered by many to be Marvel's number one villain, and that's kind of like a lot of people. The shame was that because the Fox they were with Fox that they couldn't use Doctor Doom, and so Doctor Doom's kind of been in mediocre Fantastic movies for the past 15 years. Um, but and of course, but I think either him because of what he's capable of, and this, like, Doctor Doom is like is maniacal. Like, the lengths he will go to achieve something is like beyond crazy, even more beyond than Thanos. And he all does it for the betterment of his country of Latveria, where he's a dictator.
Hmm.
Either that, or you build up to Silver Surfer and the coming of Galactus, which that would be, and like actual, not like fucking gas planet or gas Galactus, but actual, like, however tall he needs to be, Galactus, giant purple humanoid with machinery that's coming to drain the life of all energy.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two big ones you could do. There's a couple other ones you could do, but if you want to talk about like end game levels of hype, Doom or Galactus. Fantastic Four.
So, what movies do we know that are coming? Because all I know is probably Doctor Strange 2 and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Black Panther 2 is also coming.
Sorry, what was that?
Black Panther 2. We
Yeah.
know that thing, and then we know Captain Marvel's probably going to get a sequel. I mean, it made $1 billion, so it's probably going to get a sequel. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which will probably deal with Adam Warlock, because he was teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Do you think we'll get like any hints towards the next big bad in those, or those are just gonna tie into
if
each
anything,
other?
maybe Doctor Strange, maybe, because I would say either Doctor Strange or Guardians, considering what kind of scale they're on.
What would Captain Marvel 2 be like?
I don't know, because there's a whole bunch of alien races that she could deal with, that, like, maybe some of the more funky Marvel aliens. I'm not too sure, because I know they're not going to probably make her Earth based, like, for the future. Warrior.
Yeah, everything they've done so far has been like she's off Earth and doing something else. So I wouldn't assume Earth related for her, because they have the Avengers and those other places don't.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's this. We talked about it over because it's kind of overpowering, but a lot of people are taking that. There's a scene where not Scarlet Johansson.
Scarlet Witch.
Is a badass woman against Thanos because she fucked up her boyfriend. My bad. I just remember that. There's so much in that fight scene.
There's a lot in this movie. Like we've talked
lot.
over a lot of things, like surprisingly, and we've been talking for an hour and like 20
I
minutes.
apologize if you missed over your part, but it's a lot, especially if you're not watching constantly. But there's a point. It happens early in the movie where Black Widow is having a council with like Rocket Raccoon, Okoye, and I think a couple other people. I can't remember. And Okoye references like, what are we going to do about these tidal waves? And a lot of people are thinking that's signaling Namor the Submariner, and that Namor might be in Black Panther 2, and it's going to be like Atlantis versus Wakanda, like these two civilizations at war.
Yeah, I like that bit in there where she's like, "It's an earthquake. We don't do anything." Yeah, man, great movie. Go watch it. If you haven't seen this, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen it and we spoiled everything for you and you don't care, go watch this damn movie.
It's I'm glad I rewatched all the Marvel movies before this, and I'm glad I timed it perfectly to where I watched Infinity War the night before.
Do you think I would get anything out of watching Thor 2 again? Because I've only seen it once.
Probably not.
No? Okay. Because the fact that it takes place during that, I kind of wanted to watch it again in case, like, I don't know.
I mean, it's all right. I think people honestly overplay its negativity. It's just, it's not typically special. Mm-hmm. It's borderline mediocre, but there are fun moments, and like there's scenes with Thor and Loki that are really fun. Ragnarok is a lot better,
Oh,
But
it's one of the best ones.
yeah, but like I really think people overplay um Dark World. Like it's just it's very okay. In an okay in the world of the MCU that's kind of like bad to some people.
Did you hear about that the 22 movie box set or whatever?
No, I'm not doing that, Holmes. I already have them all.
Once Disney Plus comes, I won't need it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, all 22 movies are gonna be on there. I have them all on Blu-ray, so
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Give us a review on iTunes and all the other places where you get your podcasts. Ben, closing words and your stuff.
I am Iron Man. And you can find me at twitter.com/marvelsiggy, where I'm gonna try not to spoil Endgame for people who haven't seen it because I know, hey, life's busy. You may not be able to see it that first weekend. Um, so yeah, that's it. Just go see fucking. I want to go see it again. I want to go see it again.
I'm probably gonna watch this movie 3 times in theaters. Like I've already seen it twice. I need to go one more time with my dad. Yeah. Like I said, review. You can check me out on Twitter, CSU Thomas. Check out our website, Charter Shot. That's where all of our social links are. Podcast, videos, all that good stuff. You can subscribe to us on Spotify now. We're on there. And until then, guys, I am Iran. Oh man.